Good day, everyone. The last time we talked, today our course is Algebra. The last time we talked about quadratic equations, how to solve them. We all know quadratic equation. There are at least 4 to 5 methods of solving them, 3 to 4. So we said the first one is factorization. The second one is fomular method. The third one is completing the square. So these are the these are the 3 methods. We also have graphical method, which I don't think is relevant in our own case for now. So the last time we were able to solve factorization, formula method, we did some derivation of the formula method. Now, let's have a little bit of revision before we move on. What is this formula method? So we said x is equal to b plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2e. Now, this is the formula with some people, you know. So this is the formula method. So let's take an example and just refresh our brain. Example 1, we said x squared plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. Now, using this, our a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1, and c is equal to minus 6. So, if we input it, x is equal to minus 1 plus or minus root of b squared. What is our b squared? 1 minus 4 times 1 times 6 plus 24 all over 2. So it is minus 1. It is minus 1 plus or minus root of 25 all over 2, which is minus 1 plus or minus 5 all over 2. So it is equal to minus 1 plus 5 over 2, or minus 1 minus 5 over 2, which is equal to minus 1 plus 5, it is 4 over 2, or minus 6 over 2, which is 2 or minus 3. Now, 2 or minus 3 is the solution of this quadratic equation. So let's try to check on another one and see if. So the next one we'll take is x squared minus x minus 3, 30 is equal to 0. So now, what is our a? 1. Our b minus 1, and our c minus 30. So x is equal to minus b, which is 1 plus or minus root of b squared 1, then minus 4 times a. Our a is 1 times 30. So 4 times 30, 120. But here is plus, here is minus. we have double minus, so it's plus 120 all over 2. So it is equal to 1 plus or minus root of 121 all over 2. So it is equal to 1 plus or minus 11 all over 2, which is equal to 1 plus 11 over 2 or 1 minus 11 over 2. So our answer is 12 over 2 or minus 10 over 2, which is 6 or negative 5. So now this is the solution for this quadratic equation. We use formula method and we've seen the solution. So the next thing we'll try to do is we'll go to our third method. What is our third method? Our third method is solution using completing the square method. The next is what? Completing the square. Forget the long name, it is so easy. So let's try to see how to solve using arbitrary. Let's say ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Ax squared plus b. So this, how do we solve it? We will not take this to the other side. So we have ax squared plus bx is equal to minus c. Is equal to minus c. So now, at this point, you add the square. You add the square. You add half the square of the coefficient of x, not x squared, coefficient of x. So you will have a x squared plus bx plus the coefficient of x 1 over 2 b squared. Add it to both sides. It is equal to minus c plus b squared over 2. So from here, before this, we divide through by a. So you will have x squared plus b all over ax is equal to minus c all over a. So you now add the square, just like I said, x squared plus b all over a x plus b all over 2a square is equal to minus c plus b all over 2a square. So this can be written in the form x plus b all over 2a square is equal to minus c plus b square all over 4a square. So take the square root of both sides. X plus b all over 2a is equal to square root of minus c plus b square all over 4a square. So if you take this to this other side, you have your x to be equal to minus b all over 2a plus root of minus c plus b squared all over 4a. Now, this is what you have. So it's almost similar to formula method, but this is what we call completing the square method. For formula method, you just substitute your values directly. For completing the square, you have, if you are asked to solve using completing the square, let's take an example and see. X squared plus x minus 6 equal to 0. We are asked to solve this using completing the square method. So the first thing you do is take this constant to the other side. Then you now add the square, add half the square of the coefficient of x to both sides. So you have x squared plus x plus 1 over 2 square is equal to 6 plus 1 over 2 square. So you will have x plus 1 over 2 all square is equal to 6 plus 1 all over 4. So take the square root of, so x plus 1 over 2 all square is equal to 6 plus 1 over 4. Is 25. All over 4. So take the square root of both sides. You have x plus 1 over 2 is equal to square root of 25 all over 4, which is 5 over 2. So you now take this to this other side. You have x is plus or minus. Plus or minus. So x is equal to minus 1 over 2 plus or minus 5 over 2. Then this implies x is equal to minus 1 over 2 plus 5 over 2 or minus 1 over 2 minus 5 all over 2. So it is equal to this, you have 4 all over 2 or minus 6 over 2. This is equal to 2 or minus 3. Now, if we check our previous solution, that's what we have, and this is what we are going to have using completing the square method. So the formula method is just a shortcut. You just solve and you have your answer instantaneous. Just then we'll take this our second example and see if we'll have the same answer as previous one we did, and that's where we are going to stop. Fortunately, next time we will then continue from the next topic. So if we take the next example, which says x squared minus x minus 30 is equal to 0. So with this, you now have x squared minus x is equal to 30. If you add this half the square of the coefficient, so you have x squared minus x minus 1 over 2 all square is equal to 30 plus minus 1 over 2 all square. So you have x minus 1 over 2 all square is equal to 30 plus 1 over 4. So what is 30 plus 1 over 4? One to 1 over 4. So if you take the square root of both sides, you have x minus 1 over 2 is equal to 1 to 1 over 4 all squared. So if this square root, what you have is plus or minus 11 all over 2. So take it to the other side, x is equal to 1 over 2 plus or minus 11 over 2, which implies 1 over 2 plus 11 over 2, or 1 over 2 minus 11 over 2. Let's complete it on the other side of the board. So that means our x is equal to 1 plus 11, 12 over 2, or 1 minus 11 minus 10 over 2. So our x is equal to 6 or negative 5. Now if we check, that's what we have at our previous solution. Excuse me, please. Sorry. So the next thing we'll do is, we've seen that when we are solving, we can use completing the square factorization or formula method. Will have the same answer. Formula method is just a shortcut. It's just a shortcut to get your solution faster. So I think this with this we're able to cover the 3 methods of solving differential equations. So if you have any question pertaining either the factorization, so if we try to solve this, let's assume this, you know, when we started we used only these two. We use x squared plus x minus 6 equal to 0, x squared minus x minus 30 equal to 0. These are what we use to solve. So if you try to use factorization method on it, you will find the same answer. Let's try. X squared plus, what are the two numbers you solve and you get, with that, when you add them up you get this, when you multiply them you get this. We believe they are minus 3, they are 3 minus 2. So these are the two numbers you get, plus 3x minus 2x minus 6 equal to 0. So 3 minus 2 is 1, which is this. So now you now split them into 2. So what is common here? X. So we have x plus 3. We can bring out the negation outside, and 2 is also common. So minus 2 x plus 3. In our previous class, I told you that what you have here must reappear here. So you will take one of them and say x plus 3 is equal to 0, or this and this. X minus 2 is equal to 0. So from here, x is equal to minus 3 and x is equal to 2. So these are the two values we had when we use completing the square formula method, and we have it using factorization. So let's try to see for the last one what we are going to have. What we did here, we just used a bit of factorization. So if we go back and use factorization again here, we'll have we have x squared minus x minus 30 equal to 0. So factorization, what two numbers that if you do? We already know x squared, let's minus 6x plus 5x minus 30 equal to 0. So x squared minus 6x plus 5x minus 30 equal to 0. From here we have x minus 6 plus 5, x minus 6 equal to 0. So x minus 6 is equal to 0, or x plus 5 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 6, or x is equal to minus 5. So this is the solution we are going to have. So this is the solution we are going to have. After this is what we have previously, 6 and 5, and this is what we are still having, and that's what you have using whatsoever method you use. Be it graphical method, be it completing the square, be it quadratic. That's what you are going to have. I think with this is where we are going to stop. If you have any question, you can ask by dropping it on the comment section, and in our next class we will try to solve it. Thank you.